By what name are you known?
There are some who call me Tim.
Get him.
What's going on, everybody? This is Matt from Geek News, a podcast that we talk about comic books, movies, TV shows, and you are listening to 20TIMinutes.
What is going on? Episode 31. If you're a fan of this show, you know this is my favorite number, which is probably going to be my least favorite show. Just kidding. What is happening, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. That introduction was done by Mash. He is half of Geek News with Hoppy. You can listen to them on any platform of podcasting. Great show, great people, so give them a follow and a listen. Thank you for rocking with me again. I am just coming off my 25-mile hike I did with the Cystic Fibrosis fundraiser with my wife in honor of her late sister, Alana. We raised almost $10,000, and I almost died. Not really, but I felt like I was going to die. I'll get into that in a little bit. Had a lot of fun. Just wanted to say thank you to everybody that donated for that first off. It means a lot. And just thank you. Thank you to everybody that donated. But again, episode 31, my name is Tim McCarthy. I host this podcast, 20TIMinutes. It is not 20TIminutes or 20, I don't know. I don't know how it gets mixed up when people say it, but I always laugh when they do because I thought it was just going to be pretty easy and clear when I wrote it. It's like when people mess up like band names or something that just looks normally. Like, did they think that when they gave the name that people would mess it up? But maybe I'm going to be one of the good ones where if it does get messed up, that means you made it. So 20TIMinutes, a mental health podcast that focuses on mental health. Holy shit. Through humor, insight, and personal stories in roughly 20 minutes. If you guys saw recently, I posted that I was in the newspaper for my podcast, which was nice. Somebody submitted it and I asked who it was and they told me and I don't know who it is. So shout out to you if you submitted that for me. But that was really fun. They came by and took photos, which I wasn't too fond of because I was like, I'll just send you photos. And they're like, no, we can come and take them. I was like, okay, that's cool. So we did the article and stuff. The article was really nice. They put it together really nice. It was actually in the newspaper itself. And I know if you don't know what a newspaper is, then you're probably pretty fucking young. I used to work for a newspaper company. I worked for that same newspaper company, okay? And my job, right, I was the retention supervisor. So what I did was I called people back to see if they wanted to resubscribe for a newspaper. That was almost a decade ago. And yeah, that was a tough job. But I got out of it alive. But they were cool. The photographers were really nice, funny dude. We had a lot of laughs. And like most people I talk to about the podcast, whether it be a guest or somebody new that just heard about it, I always assume they don't listen to it, which is a way to go into things. And when I was taking photos, he was like, maybe you shouldn't smile as much because it's a mental health topic. And I was like, well, the thing here is Rick. I don't think his name was Rick. I totally forgot what it was. I was like, well, my whole thing is it's break the stigma by cracking a smile. And he's like, oh, okay. So I got to be myself. But I was just like, I was more proud of the art. I was more proud of me telling him that I wanted to smile in my photos than the actual article itself. Because like I didn't think too much about the article. I was just like, oh, it's whatever. It's in the newspaper. It's something big. And everyone was super supportive about it. And I appreciate it. That was really cool what everyone said and what everyone shared it and so forth. I thought that was really nice of everybody. So I do thank you. It was just weird to be like, yeah, here's me in a newspaper. What do you guys think? An article. And the online article actually has more information, which I liked because they included the Suicide Prevention Coalition out of Plymouth, Mass. So to include those names in there was really good. It's always good to get publicity, but for the things I want to do this podcast for, I want to make sure everyone else gets their shout out as well. But thank you. I just thank you for everybody. Thank you to my newest member of Buy Me a Coffee, Sam. I appreciate you joining the squad of my exclusive membership. If anybody wants to join in, just go to Buy Me a Coffee, type in 20TIminutes, because that's what this podcast is a 20-minute TI-based podcast where we just talk strictly about TI and how he's a very overrated rapper. Yep, I said it. If you sign up for that, I give you my stickers. You guys know the deal. My stickers are just the hottest thing on the streets. I got Fanny, Charles. Those things are almost out of here, so go. But you guys have probably noticed if you're watching this, I am rocking my brand new shirt. It's going to be out by the time you're hearing this. It is my goofy mug on the face. And on the back, you got a little 20, like the number, where it says at 20TIMinutes. It's kind of like a Celtics green, as you will, a Kelly green. Too bad they bounced out of the playoffs because this shirt would have been fucking hot to wear in the streets or to a game. But let me know if you want to buy one of those, and I'll get you one. And then we'll have a transaction where I tell you how much it is, and you're like, oh, okay, I'll get back to you when I get paid. And I'm like, okay, and then you never get back to me because I feel bad because I told you it cost a price, and then we have like that awkward situation. So if you want to actually buy one, hit me up. Won't break the bank. Thank you. Yeah, so the hike. Let's go back to the hike here. So I knew going into this, I was like, you know what? 25 miles ain't no joke. I don't train. The most miles I've ever hiked in my life in one time was probably 4 at max. Now, walking in general, it's fine. I can walk. I can walk this way, Aerosmith, but I can't walk that long. Like, I don't have the greatest legs. Like, I know I look fucking svelte as shit, and I'm like jacked out of my shirt, as you can see clearly. But I didn't know what to expect. I wasn't going to give up, and I was going to make sure I did this. So it started off good. I was doing great. It was raining like shitty weather at first, and I was like, all right, I'll deal with this. I sprayed my shoes down, sprayed my whole fucking, I had everything, ponchos, the whole 9. So we go, we're getting there, and probably like 6 miles in, my foot and shin go deep into like a reservoir, and my whole leg is just wet. But I don't complain about it because I'm the caboose. I'm in the way back, kind of doing my own thing. I don't want to burn myself out. Tortoise in the hair. I've read that a million times. I am the tortoise. So I have my wet sock, and I know like I got to change this thing soon, but there's aid stations you stop and you do all that stuff. So I couldn't wait for that. So that was where my mind was going for. And I was like, I'm going to go do this, and I'm going to take care of that. So I finally did. Got to change my socks, which is like a big thing for me. My feet sweat in sandals, okay? I don't like wet feet. So it's going pretty good. We're all having fun, and I'm just like snacking my balls off my fanny pack, and then I'm kind of like drifting back even more and more, a little bit by myself, not too much by myself. So I get to throw in some music here and there and just kind of just reflect and like think about life, and thought about like the podcast, what's going on in my life, what I can do, blah, blah, blah. And then we do a couple more stops, and I think we're about like 15 miles in, and it's really settling in on me that this hurts. My feet are starting to kill. I'm like questioning life in general. I had to like take breaks and like stop. And I'm like, you follow me on Instagram, I was doing a lot of videos of it, and I was having fun. Like I was with people for the most part. At one point, I got in front of everybody. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do like a slight little jog, get in front of everybody, look like I'm still determined, which I was. And I kept moving. But then we got to the next aid station, and I was like, okay. So by the time we got to 20 miles in the last aid station, I was like, okay, let's get to this and I can finish it out. Because before that, a couple of us were struggling. We were thinking about taking the shortcut and leaving early, which we were like, nope, not going to do. And everyone thought I wanted to do it, which I kind of did. But I was like, nope, not doing it. So I was really far behind at this point. And my feet were killing. I knew there was blisters on those things. And I was like, God damn it, I'm going to have to deal with this. So Lindsay texted me. She's like, hey, there's a shortcut coming up if you want to take it. I'm like, nope, not taking it. Not taking it. Being very stubborn because I signed up for something, and I was thinking about everyone that donated and people that said messages to me when I was doing it, like, you can do it, blah, blah, blah. And I was making sure I had like that mental toughness, which I want to talk about in a second about mental toughness, is I started walking and my knee started to give out. Again, I'm not making excuses right now, first off. I'm not setting up for like an excuse tour. But I was kind of struggling and kind of just like trying to get the weight off my feet with my blisters and my knee. And so like my knee was trying to hold up and I couldn't really do it. So I pulled my groin a little bit, but I didn't care about that. I've pulled multiple groins in my life. I will pull my groin all the times, and I'll keep pulling my groin. It's going to happen. Okay? I know what you're thinking. And I was like, okay. But so they have these people called sweepers in the back that catch up to everybody. And guess who was at the rare end of this tail? Me. So they come up on me, and I thought they were just regular hikers with me. They're like, oh, how you doing? I was like, oh, I'm just doing great. Having a blast. Doing all right. Like, oh, that's cool. Like, you like usually do extreme hikes? I'm like, no, but this is pretty extreme. like, what was the most miles you ever done at a time? And I was like 4, and they were like, wow, like that's impressive. I'm like, yeah, I can't feel anything. You know, like, is anything bugging you? And I was like, oh, my knee's bugging me. And then they're like, oh, okay. Like, then they like stopped me and like made me like put some stuff on my knee and stuff. So like they like tricked me. I thought they were just normal people, but they were like people that take care of you. So I was kind of like, I wasn't mad, but I was like, ah, damn. But I was being stubborn. But they were very nice and they helped me. So they made me walk the pace. And they kind of saw me walking weird. And they were like, you sure you're going to be able to make the last leg? I was like, yeah, totally. But in my head, I was like, I don't know if I can even make my next step, lady. And we got to the next aid station. They weren't like cheering me on to go. We were just having casual conversation. She was like, what do you do in your spare time? I was like, well, do you like podcasts? I actually did that. I would never do that in any other way. I think I was tripping. I was like, I just couldn't even like fathom like what I was seeing. First off, these people had like guides to get through the woods, but their flags were green, so they blended into the woods. So like I was by myself, and there was times I was like, I don't know if I went the right way. But yeah, she was like, keep me up. So I got there and they assessed the situation, and I had to bow out with 5 miles left, which was very disheartening for me because I wanted to actually do the whole thing, even though I did not train. But everyone was like, oh, you should be proud of yourself. And you did 20 miles, blah, blah, blah. But I always feel like it's patronizing when you don't finish something. And they're like, no, if you didn't do it at all, then where would you be, you know? But just, I think it's my character that I can't accept that. And I would think about it more and more, being like, yeah, that is kind of a big feat and blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. I just always want more and more. And I was thinking about mental toughness. I always like wondered like what actually is mental toughness, because I always say like, oh, I can just tough this out. Like it's one of those things. It's like, oh, stop being a pussy and just do it. Like, is that what that is? So when I looked it up, mental toughness is the ability to resist, manage, and overcome doubts, worries, concerns, and circumstances that prevent you from succeeding or excelling at a task or towards an objective or a performance outcome that you set out to achieve. So, like, it's not that I didn't have doubts. I think it's like don't be like mentally stupid. Is that a thing? Like mental toughness is, I guess, if I didn't do it at all. Like, I think I was worried going into it that I wouldn't be able to do it at all. So I think to get to 20 miles, I did pass those doubts. But like, where does the mental toughness like lie? That line. It's like I keep going, but then say like my knee blows out with 2 miles left because I want to do those last 5 miles left. Is it like mental toughness to like you pushed yourself too far and now you just ruined it? That's where like the mental toughness, I want to dive deeper down the road in another episode of like what is mental toughness to you? Like, how do you define it? Like, what is mental toughness in your eyes? Mental toughness in my eyes with that was like when I was thinking about my knee, I was like, well, my knee ain't broken right now. I can keep going. And we'll see what happens. But to like get help, I felt like a little bit weak and vulnerable about it. But then again, I'm thinking to myself, like, I ain't no fucking hiker, dude. Like, I made it all this way. The goal was to raise all this money. So I made sure to like focus on that more, because it wasn't even about me. You know what I mean? Like, I just had to do it, but it was for me in a way that I wanted to see if I can get to a point in my life where I can hike 25 miles without training. But the answer is I couldn't really make it that far. But I thank you for everyone that donated to that. That meant a lot to me. That was very cool. Oh, man. But yeah. It's like the whole thing with, if you listen to my recent episode with Tom Rudd, Tom brought up self-affirmation, how self-affirmation is so weird, and you can't just sit there and be like, oh, hey, I did a great thing today, or I made something. This was awesome. So today I am very happy that I raised enough money with my wife and my friends and family for the cystic fibrosis fundraiser, CF. That's why they chop it down for people like me who can't speak English. So I'm very happy and proud of myself to do something like that, especially only walking 20 miles or hiking 20 miles. I also didn't know. I was asking people, and this is a dumb question. I'm like, is a regular walking mile the same as a hiking mile, as like distance-wise? Does that make sense when I ask that? I don't know if it does, but I'm trying to relay that question because I don't know. I did have a question submitted again. So if you have a question that you want to submit, go to 20TIMminutes.com, click the Submit a Question tab at the top. And I got one from the great Dante Mubbet and Griffin. Dante is a former college student with me. Was it college? No, just, you know what? He's a former friend I went to college with. No, former college friend. He's still a friend, but I went to college with him. Haven't talked to him in a while, but he just checked into the podcast. Love you, Dante. He asked what was the biggest struggle with college. Was that even the question? I don't even know. I'll have to check that out again. He asked me about college and what was like the biggest struggle with that. Which, first off, anyone that goes to college, huge struggle on its own. We went to a college where it was the first year that it opened at Johnson & Wales in North Carolina. And just meeting people alone was like scary enough to make friends. But it was fun. It was a good college. So he goes, what was the most challenging moment of your college life? Should have wrote that down before I had to look it up. Sorry, Dante. It's a good question. I would say right off the bat, the most challenging moment of my college life was dropping out or deciding to drop out. I wasn't doing well in college class as it was. I'm more of a social butterfly where I aced making friends and aced making memories. That's what I did. And just ripping it with my friends, being a bro, having a bro down, having dumb college. But dude, isn't it funny that people that went to college, they had like these stupid house party themes? It's like heaven and hell, where like, like even explaining it gives me like secondhand embarrassment. Well, like we have liquor on the top floor and beer on the bottom floor, and vice versa, or whatever. And people had to like wear white and black. Like there was so many stupid like stuff. I think I went to like a mud wrestling event one time too. Like that's so college, bro. And it like my back is sweating just thinking about how many dumb, stupid things we did as kids. Dude, freaking college, bro. It's freaking nuts, dude. But yeah, just realizing I had to drop out because it, like my heart wasn't in it. I was going for sports entertainment and event management, and I don't think that wasn't even anything I wanted to do. I had some issues financially, problems at home, and I think just like going down to like the student office and saying that I was dropping out was like super emotional, and that person didn't give a fuck, obviously. But I felt like another thing, it's like I gave up, and I hate giving up on things. But if you don't love it, it doesn't make you happy. It's like why try to keep pushing it and trying to just make it work when it won't? I always like think about like regretting going to college because of like the student loans and like the time wasting. But man, I'll tell you what, it is priceless for some of the people you meet in your life. Dante included. I have a whole group of friends I met at college that are priceless. I would not change that for the world. Granted, I would love to not have student loan debt ever, but man, the connections and memories I had down there, I would never change. I would never regret going down there. So it is bittersweet, but that was the most challenging moment in my college life. And then the second challenging moment was like, dude, where are we going to get freaking beers from at this hour, dude? Dude, beer bus. Let's fucking go. Dude, college was lame, but awesome at the same time. Would you go back in time and just beat the shit out of yourself? Because I would. I would go through like every decade and just like slug Tim right in the mouth. Each time. Like, here's some mental toughness for you. Wha-bam. Right in the mouth. It is hot in the cat closet, people. I'm sorry to rush, but maybe this will be more like close to just straight up 20 minutes on the button now. Because it is tough. It was funny with the photographer. He took photos. If you're watching this right now, you can see all the goofy shit on my walls, but he took it from the other angle. So it's nothing on the walls where I'm sitting like AC Slater in the other way. Like, hey, I do a podcast. What's up? Come on and check me out on the internets. But yeah, self-affirmation, mental toughness are the two big things this week. Let me know what you think mental toughness actually is to you, what you think it is. And you know what? Self-affirmation. Think about something that you're proud of that you do, something that you create, and stand by it. I'm very happy that I make this podcast. I'm happy of where it went already. I didn't think it would be doing this well, even just making the local newspaper. Hoping to do more things with it, may reach more people, make more connections, just do some more fundraising for certain things out there like mental health. I know we just did one for cystic fibrosis. I raised money for the Plymouth Suicide Coalition. I would love to do like a fundraising event in person. I think that would be really fun, like a whole rock, paper, scissors tournament. Who would be down for that? Because that would be a doozy. Music suggestion this week is going to be CZARFACE / MF Doom with Forever People. CZARFACE, I think I've put on here before. They're like one of the best out there. Inspector Deck and Esoteric. And he has a great lyric in there, Inspector Deck, where he goes, I'm at the arcade with no change. I ain't playing no games. Because that's what I'm doing. I ain't playing no games no more, all right? Well, I am, but not really. And movie suggestion, it's on Netflix. I think everyone's seen it, but go watch it again if you haven't seen it, is The Big Lewbowski, The Dude. That movie, you can't say one bad thing about that movie. If you don't like that movie, unfollow me right now, because that is a classic. Thank you, everybody, for checking in with 20 Tim Minutes. I am your host, Tim McCarthy. Hit me up. Buy one of these new exclusive shirts, because after these shirts are done, I'm just making just shirts you can just buy online. These are going to be a one-time design. I got my hat still in the mix for a little bit. So if you want a hat, shirt, 20TIMinutes.com. Slide in my DMs. Holla at your boy. I love you guys so much. Break the stigma by cracking a smile. Go do something good for somebody this weekend. Tell somebody you love them. Text a friend you haven't texted in a while. Tell them what's up. What else can I say? I'll say it again. I love you guys. Have a good one.